Hey everybody, this is Minnesota Boy, and I am just out in one of the big regional parks in the Twin Cities metro area of Minnesota, and I am so glad to be outside because it's 50 degrees Fahrenheit or so. I really haven't been able to get out geocaching because on the nice days I've been doing other things. I've been stuck inside doing other things or whatever is going on, right? Life, right? But today I get a chance to be outside, and this park is nice. And it's really not that busy today because it rained overnight. There was a threat of rain this morning. I think it's keeping people away a little bit. And that's good for geocachers, right? We want a little bit of quiet time to ourselves sometimes. That's pretty cool, a little knot tying station. They got the ropes down here where you can try and practice to learn how to do all those knots. Very helpful stuff when you're out adventuring in the wild, right? So in a lot of the big park reserves here in the Twin Cities metro area, there are a set of geocaches that are designed to be able to be found by anyone. It means they're a 1-1. You can roll up to them in a wheelchair. They make them very, very accessible. And there's a number of them. I think there's 2 or 3 of them in each of the big park reserves in town. I'm gonna find a couple of them today. I'll show them to you here. Here we have a spot with a beautiful view, with a bench to sit on, but also one of those easily accessible geocaches. This one in the form of a snail. There's the log. I think I'll fix that up a little bit. We'll put a bag on it, keep it dry. It's always nice to carry a few supplies with you, little log sheets, plastic bags, so that you can clean out and fix up a geocache for the next finder that comes along. It's always a good thing to do. Since this is my first day out in a big park this spring, I was wondering, and I ask you, what motivates you to get outside? Is it because you just need the exercise? Do you feel cooped up at home? Did you run out a great Netflix series to watch? I don't know, but what motivates you to get outside? Drop it in the comments below. We'll have a little discussion about what gets us out to do this great game. All right, I've stepped off the main trail to look for a small cache. There's some downed trees. We'll give those a look, see what we can find. One right up there that I think we got to look at. Not seeing anything there. I'm kind of surprised. I think that's probably where I would have put it, but we got lots of other choices. Sometimes the coordinates aren't exactly right, and sometimes your geosenses will mislead you as well. I was looking up the hill there at those trees, those downed trees over there. There's a number of them. That's kind of where the coordinates land, right over there. And I had ignored this big tree behind me with this hole in it, because, as you can see, well, maybe you can't, there's a trail leading right to it from the main trail. So I thought you wouldn't put it there because it's going to get muggled because everyone's obviously coming over to look at this tree. But guess what? Geocache found. Sometimes it's not where you think it is. Looks like we've got a little floating walkway coming up on this trail. Very fun. All right, we'll bring you along for this one. We're stepping off trail. This cache is a regular size put out by my good friend Barry. Master Sergeant USMC is his geocaching name. Puts out some great caches. Oh, well, I would say that's maybe not a regular size, maybe a small, but we'll take it. Just when I had you settled in there, you fell off. All right, let's hope it stays there now. In the title of this cache, it did say hanging out at, so I guess I should have been looking for something hanging from the start rather than looking on the ground. But, ooh, a little fire engine with a Paw Patrol guy in it, which I am going to take for my grandson, and I will put in some other stuff. Very cool. Logbook, we'll sign that. We'll put in something else to read. You know, because when you take something out of a cache, you got to trade even or better, right? I'll find some stuff in my bag to put in there. Well, I found a couple of items to put in there to replace that Paw Patrol fire engine I'm taking for my grandson. We've got a cool keychain, Munzie Nation. If you don't play the game of Munzie, you should give it a try. Munzie.com. And I'm going to put in this can opener from the Geocachers of Minnesota, which is also, I think, the logo I have in my hat. Put the log sheet back in. And you are sitting right where the cache was hanging, so I'll take you down and hang this up. Well, that is 4 geocache finds on the day, and I don't think I've had 4 in a day in quite a while. So this is turning out to be a really nice day. Okay, looking for another cache. This one's supposed to be micro in size, also by Master Sergeant USMC. And I'm out at the end. I wouldn't call this a floating walkway because it's a dead end, so more like a floating dock, but it does go out quite a ways into this marshland here. And there's a bench at the end, so I think that's where I'm going to look. Look at what I found. Didn't take me too long. It was a little tricky though. I won't tell you exactly where it was. Here we go, signed in. I'll roll this one back up. Remember, here's the cap. See how the threads are on the outside? Stick it inside that cap so that when you put this part back on, it doesn't get all caught up in the threads. Thank you, Barry, for bringing me all the way out to the end of this floating dock. Now to walk back to the main trail, and I think there's a couple of more caches before I would get back to the car, and then we'll see if I want to go even farther. Well, trails just don't get much wider than this one, do they? I don't know how many feet wide. This is a wide trail, but now we're going off trail to find the last cache of the day before we get back to the car. All right, here we go. I think it's straight back this way, maybe behind that tree. All right, I don't see anything here yet. There's a whole bunch of down trees there. I hope it's not in there. Well, as it turns out, I'm going to DNF this one. It's, I think, somewhere. There's a big tree down here, and they've jammed everything that fell on this big trail into that spot as well. When they cut off all these pieces, they just jammed everything in there. I think it's down there. Some people have found it. There's been some DNFs and some finds on this cache, so it's probably there. But I'm by myself. I don't want to twist an ankle in there climbing over those things or whatever. So I'm going to give up on this one. I think there's one more I can grab before I get back to the car. Okay, last geocache of the day is one put out by the Nature Center here in this park. And it's a nice ammo can. A nice ammo can. Nice big logbook. That Mo was here, still the original. Mo puts pencils everywhere. logged in. A little bit of swag in here. Look at this. We got a little magnifying glass kit for looking at things. We got a snowshoeing and Hennepin Parks patch. Pretty cool. Stickers. Monsters Inc., right? I forget her name. Maybe you know. Put it in the comments. I'm going to drop some swag in there myself. I forget what that is. We'll drop it in there. Chico's Community Celebration can cooler. Put that in there. A geocaching pencil. How about the lanyard from Geo Woodstock? You got a signal button. Geocachers of Minnesota wooden nickel. And because it's such a nice cache, also going to drop in a couple of my path tags. Got my Minnesota boy tag there. My Munzie Coexist tag. This kind of cache deserves good swag. So when kids come out here, they got stuff to find. Lock that up nice. Put it back. All right, that last cache was a good one to end on. I love it when you find a nice big ammo can filled with cool swag for kids. It's always great for geocaching to have good stuff for kids in the cans. Thanks for coming along with me on this geocaching adventure. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. Just hit that button below. I'd really appreciate it. We'll see you next time when I'm out geocaching, playing Munzie, or just being outside in the great outdoors. See you then. Bye.